Hi, you guys. Happy Tuesday. It's been a while since I did a video for you, and I've been joking that's because I've run out of things that I know how to cook. But I mean, you know that's not true. Some things take a while. And, case in point is this. I made a video for you a couple weeks ago doing this. We're making spaghetti and meatballs. And it was too long. And it's because, I'm a little out of practice with, trying to top load things. But so essentially what I have done to truncate the process here is I started our sauce already. And what we're going to do here, let me get my can opener. I have already done the dicing of the carrots and celery and garlic, and those have been going for a while. And you want to cook them as long as you can in the oil because it's going to, they cook a little faster that way. But so what we're going to do next is I'm going to take a little bit of wine, not a lot. I mean, this is not like a heavy sauce. It's a really light, vegan, I guess, sauce that is just because we're going to make meatballs. So there's no meat in this sauce. It's just tomatoes, vegetables, olive oil. And so I've got olive oil in this pan. It's a couple tablespoons, a couple ribs of celery like this, like the heart kind, and a good handful of very finely diced carrots. And remember, when you dice celery, the lines, the veins in the celery help guide your knife. So you just do it in strips and then go across and make them really small. And then this is my hack, as my kids would say. I use shredded carrots and then I go from there. I chop them up. Anyway, so I'm going to put a little bit of wine in here, like a quarter of a cup of wine, okay? Not a lot. I'm just deglazing all that stuff. And while that's kind of doing its thing, I'm going to add a smallish can, the smaller can of the petite diced tomatoes, which has a full cap, so I don't need this one. And then the bigger can of the crushed tomatoes. And, I usually get the no salt added kind. Now, how much garlic did I put in? What I did was I did about 6 or 7 cloves of garlic, and I put half of the meatballs and half over here. I haven't started the meatballs yet, though. We'll do that together. Let me just get this lid off. And you see, like, the crushed tomatoes kind of already look like sauce, but it's just tomatoes. Okay, I'm gonna get these over by the sink. Hold on. Rinse my fingers. I don't know if you noticed this in my last video, but do you hear anything coming from my faucet? No, that's because I had it fixed. It's amazing. It's amazing. It was an easy fix. Okay, so I'm going to stir this, and as I am putting the meatballs together, I'm going to add some spices to this. And actually, I'm going to put a bay leaf in here too. Just remember, you guys are up on the salt shelf. Put that in there. And I'm going to move that over to a smaller burner when I get the spices into it, a lower burner, and just let it think for about 45 minutes, okay? And that's it. Or we're going to put some spices in it. Now, in this kind of biggish bowl, actually this bowl might not be big enough, but now it's got garlic in it, it's too late. I have, about 4 cloves of garlic, very finely minced, see? Because we're trying for uniformity. And to that end, that's why we're gonna use some like dried spices in our meatballs. I'm gonna use like half a teaspoon of cacio e pepe, and I know that's not Italian. I know it's not Italian, but a lot of sauce recipes have nutmeg in them. This is white pepper, nutmeg, ginger, and cloves. It's wonderful. I'm gonna put a little in the sauce. It's kind of wonderful and everything. So half a teaspoon in each place. And for those of you non-French speakers, cacio e pepe just means 4 spices. And then some ground savory. I'm going to do, again, like half a teaspoon, really more like a quarter of a teaspoon in each. And a little bit of rosemary, probably, again, more like a quarter of a teaspoon of this, because rosemary is pretty strong. My dog is losing his mind. I don't know why. He doesn't actually want to go outside. It's raining. That's my wine glass. I haven't had a sip yet. I got it out and then I got on camera. What a shame. It's almost 5. Okay, and then a little bit more thyme. But I had a little glass of wine at lunch. It was amazing. It was a peach Bellini, a spiced peach Bellini. We went to Hillwood today. It's so cool. And then, okay, I'm going to add a little marjoram too. I tend to like marjoram better than oregano. I'm going to add like a half a teaspoon of that. Okay. And again, I'm using the dried herbs because these meatballs, I want uniformity. I want a very smooth consistency. They're just, you know, both sauces I want to have the sauce and the veal, the meatballs, I want to be really smooth. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here to this other burner on kind of low and let that do its thing for a little bit, because we're going to put these meatballs over here, and I'm going to do a really quick video showing you how to turn them over and stuff too. Okay, so the next thing, I'm going to add some olive oil to this thing too, and you know, you can add some garlic olive oil if you want. I'm just going to add regular, oh look, I'm almost out. You know, probably about a quarter of a cup of olive oil. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's, a quarter of a cup is just 4 tablespoons. Remember? Okay. So in this bowl, we have all that stuff, the spices, the stuff. And then I use veal for my meatballs for this purpose. And I know veal kind of got a bad rap, and deservedly so, for a long time. You know, there's a lot of sadness in animal farming for a while, and you know, luckily we've kind of figured out some things. For example, and this is what happens with veal now, you know, not in every case, but in the veal that I buy, they, you know, think about like, okay, milk-fed veal, right? What does that mean? It means a calf, a nursing calf. Okay, that's sad. What kinds of cows are on a dairy farm? Are there male cows, bulls giving milk? No. So what do they do with the male calves? Well, they used to just process them and turn them into dog food and stuff. So now they allow the calves to stay with their moms a little bit longer and sell the veal. So it's not really a win-win for the cow, for the calf, but you know, it's better than raising calves specifically for this purpose in the dark, alone, away from their mothers. So anyway, I have 2 pounds of veal. I'm going to throw it in here. And 2 pounds will make probably more meatballs than you need, but it's kind of a good amount. Go away, dog. Not you. It's a good amount for this purpose. And before I get really gross, I'm going to put some olive oil in the pan too. So I'm just using like kind of a regular sized, it's like a 9-inch to 10-inch cast iron skillet. I know a lot of times they say, don't crowd your meat, blah, blah, blah. These meatballs will decrease in size to about 75% of what they were. So you can crowd them a little bit, okay? And we're going to make them a little bit bigger than a golf ball, and, you know, make them bigger than you want, because they're going to shrink, right? So I'm going to put a little bit, put the rest of my olive oil in here. I actually have another thing over here if I need it. Another bottle. Okay. So now we're just going to smush up all these meatballs, and then I'll wash my hands, and we'll make little balls, and we'll have a good time here. What else can we talk about? What else goes? Oh, you know what? I forgot to put salt in here. We'll do that in a second. Shoot, I should do it now. Hold on. Let me wash my hands and I'll come back. Because I don't want to get veal in my salt. Okay, salt in your veal, but not veal in your salt. Okay. See, this is what happens. I'm trying to be fast. And you know, here we are. Okay. Salt. I would say, yeah, that's about a teaspoon. About a teaspoon of salt. That's a good amount. Okay. Now, let's see. And you know, the most important thing, again, it's the uniformity. So you really want to get in there and make sure that those spices are really well distributed, because you're gonna see little streaks like that. See, you don't want streaks, you want it all through. And okay, what else can we talk about? Oh, you know, like about a year ago, we made those little turkey meatballs, like the kind that you put in soup. And I froze them raw, but I'm gonna cook all of these today. Because really, from frozen, it's harder to, like this kind of meatball, I want to have a good crust on it, you know? What are they called? The turkey meatballs, I want, you know, you're going to throw into soup. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted because my phone has decided to show me that I have a voicemail and cover up my counter, so I don't know how much time I have left. And I have veal all over my hands, so I can't make it go away. So I'm just gonna keep doing this, I guess. Okay, so, right, so with these, you want there to be a good crust on them. And you can freeze them with the crust on them. You can freeze them already done. But with the other ones, it's okay to throw them in frozen into some boiling water or boiling broth, right? So this is about the size we want. And I am gonna just make a few and stick them here in this bowl and then wash my hands, get rid of that voicemail thing, and well, I'll just turn this on and I'll wipe off the thing later. Yeah, so that's kind of it. And these will take, I'm going to take this first one and kind of move it around the pan to spread the oil around. And the way that you want to cook these is essentially, we're going to cook them kind of on medium. They're going to get a nice crust on them. And, you know, the way that they get a nice crust on them is you let them sit until they release, okay? You don't want to agitate them too much or you're gonna lose parts of them in your skillet. And I'll show you, I'm gonna make a little video, a short video that shows you how to move them, okay? I kind of made these too big. Hold on. I'm talking and worrying about my very helpful / unhelpful phone telling me things I don't need to know. Let me wash my hands, I'm gonna get rid of that. And we'll kind of close up here, okay? Okay. A very helpful / unhelpful iPhone. It's like Google signing me up for things I didn't want. Okay, so the sauce is going. That's gonna go for about 45 minutes. The meatballs are going. And what we're gonna do is, as the sauce is you know, you can use a bigger pan than this and do them all at once, but I'm gonna have to wait on that sauce anyway, so I'm just gonna do them in batches and stand here and, you know, drink my wine and check that voicemail. But essentially, this is kind of the game plan from here. You can put them over here on a pie plate, you know, my old friend pie plate, and keep them warm. And if your kids like everything separate, you can do them separately. I kind of like to cook my meatballs in the sauce after they've gotten nice and crusty. And you just kind of turn them over a few times. They'll start getting a little more like they call this polpette. They'll get kind of oblong just from turning. And but don't turn them too soon. That's the most important thing, okay? And this sauce will make more than you need. You'll probably end up with an extra quart. You can stick it in the freezer. You can make a big ziti with it. You can do whatever you want to with it. Make a meatball sub with your extra meatballs for Sunday for fall. Okay? Bye.